Why you would steal my signs? I don't understand it. This is unreal.
Gary Hicks is one of 3 guys running to be the constable on the city's south side. And what we're about to show you should never be part of our political discourse. 3 of Hicks' campaign signs, bent up, shoved into a van, allegedly driven by this guy, David Earl Colwell. On Sunday morning, New Year's Eve, Hicks captured this photo of Colwell red-handed with the evidence.
I know who you are. I've been knowing you for years.
Sir, for taking your sign, I apologize to you.
But was David Colwell acting all on his own?
I know who your cousin is. This is unreal. That you would steal my signs.
Colwell's cousin also running for Precinct 7. We're talking about James Smokie Phillips, who's been a Precinct 7 captain for nearly 20 years.
My cousin had nothing to do with that.
Your cousin had nothing to do with it. Then why would you do it?
Smokie didn't want to talk to us on camera, so we went looking for him at a law enforcement forum.
I don't have no relationship with my cousin. I hadn't seen him in a while, so I don't know. My cousin has no connection with my campaign.
But Colwell's phone shows he called the same phone number 4 times in 30 minutes after he got busted. And guess whose phone number it was? Smokie Phillips.
But I didn't talk to him. I didn't know what he was calling me for. I was in a meeting.
His opponents cry foul.
I'm really disappointed that he's still there. I'm disappointed of his actions. I think he needs to be gone. He's not professional. He's not ethical.
Phillips has been a lawman in this town for 3 decades, and boy, did he get in trouble back in the 90s. He was a Harris County Sheriff's deputy back in 1996 when he was busted in a huge cocaine trafficking ring involving Mexico's Cali cartel.
The Cali and Mexican cartels are free to take over and flood the United States with cheap cocaine.
Smokie was one of 11 co-conspirators busted in this cartel scheme by the FBI and DEA. The indictment details Smokie's alleged role was to use his law enforcement position to protect the drug smugglers, help them avoid detection using a state computer to run background checks on potential drug buyers. Smokie may have been just a deputy back then, but he had the money to hire noted criminal defense lawyer Dick DeGuerin.
I don't know if anybody at the rank of deputy, officer, sergeant, or anybody can afford such a prestigious attorney.
Smokie was nabbed on a federal conspiracy charge. Listen as he tells us now that the FBI lied and racism was the reason he got convicted.
Tell me what you did. Why did you get convicted?
All white jury.
Huh?
Like every black man, all white juries.
The conviction was thrown out later by a federal judge who found the witness testimony vague or inconclusive, but there was no mention of that all-white jury thing. Smokie was never retried. The feds moved on.
As a voter, be an informed voter. Know your candidates.
Michael Coleman is the other candidate in this race for Precinct 7 Constable, and he thinks voters should remember Smokie's purported ties to the drug cartel.
If you're being transparent, yes, just address it and with the voters so they'll know what to think. If not, voters actually go and Google the name and all that stuff comes up.
Oh, so what's your big thing you got going on? Because I know your people see your pictures all over the city.
Instead, Smokie does podcast interviews where he's not asked the tough questions.
I'm actually running for office to replace Constable May Walker, who's decided to retire. I served there about 18 years as a captain under her.
Okay.
And I talked to her about running. She said, go out there and run, Smokie. Go out there and win.
Run, Smokie, run.
Run, Smokie, run.
Constable May Walker actually called me back the other day. Even my investigations back in TV Times landed her before a grand jury. But tonight, she's hired a criminal defense lawyer.
Hey, this is May Walker. I thought you had done plunked or something. I hadn't heard from you in so long.
She likes me, and we assume she was backing her longtime captain. But she's not.
You don't want Smokie to be the constable?
I don't care if he be the constable. I'm not endorsing it.
Walker didn't hire Smokie Phillips. She inherited him after the whole drug stuff. Smokie has a clean record working for her, she says, but she also pointed out that it's hard to get in trouble when your job is a desk job.
No, because Smokie is an administrative position. He's a captain. And captains don't do nothing. They just like me. You know, they do paperwork.
You know who can't seem to move on from the unresolved cartel questions? Smokie Phillips. Look at this website, legal.com. It has a summary of the federal court case known as the U.S. versus Cornett. Curiously, Smokie has commented on it twice in the past 3 years. In September of 21, he wrote, "This case was built on lies, false affidavits, and testimony." And on March 12th, not even a year ago, he commented again, seeming to imply that the case against him might still be alive someday. Quote, "I'm trying to Rule 35 my ass out of here. I'm ready to lie." That's what he said. We looked up Rule 35. It's a federal rule of criminal procedure that permits a court, upon a government motion, to impose a new or reduced sentence that may go below the recommended guideline range and any statutory mandatory minimum penalty.
No, I'm not endorsing in this race.
If she's not an endorsement, that is very weird, actually, for your boss not to endorse you.
I'm not endorsing.
If your own boss won't support you, what did I say about you?
I mean, I'm about the people.
Michael Coleman has 36 years in law enforcement and has lived his whole life in Precinct 7.
The community is not very trusting of the police, so you need someone there that's going to be open, honest, have integrity, and to be able to do the job.
Coleman says his signs have been stolen too. He just hasn't caught them red-handed like his opponent has. And David Caldwell, he's been charged with felony theft, says a law enforcement source who witnessed the arrest.
He's a career thief. He's been arrested for theft many times, and he always pleads out.
Just look at the rap sheet: theft, sexual assault, weapons, drunk driving.
So for that reason, they chose to seek out a felony charge of theft against him for an aggregate amount, simply because of his history of being a thief and how many times he's been arrested and gone to jail.
The case is now being worked by the police department's Major Offenders Division because of possible election interference. Interference that may involve Smokie Phillips himself.
All right, family, let's do this.
These things rarely go to trial.
If y'all have connected Smokie with the sign stealing, he needs to be arrested too, no?
Left up to us because we know exactly who directed this person to steal these signs, yes, he would be arrested.
But you heard Smokie denies any connection to the sign stealing, and he hasn't been charged.
I'll tell you what's been really insulting to me is that I've been told I need to watch my back because something could happen to you. I'm not understanding that. Why do I need to watch my back?
Veteran lawman Michael Coleman, he just wants voters to be informed before they cast their ballot.
I'm cordial with Smokie. I'm cordial with Gary. We're all running the same race. For me, I'm gonna take the high road. For them two, they can figure out what they want to do.
Run, Smokie, run.
Run, Smokie, run.
The question is, what will voters say? Are they really ready to make a one-time suspected protector of the drug cartel an elected law enforcement official here in Harris County?
I'm done with this conversation.